everyone. Today is March the 6th, and this is my journal entry. I hope everything is well with everyone. Um, I'm actually just kind of laying here in bed. I did a workout today and I worked my butt off. My playlist was just really good. I got what I'm like, I think I like the YouTube music app, and you play one song and it just creates its own playlist. And I had this old school playlist going. And I was just jamming and I was so into the music. I didn't realize like I had worked my pulse rate up to 160, which is a good rate between 140 and 160 or whatever to kind of get, to maximize my workout. I was sweating and everything, didn't even realize it. So it was pretty good. So I did my 6 hour, I'm not my 6 hour, but my 6 mile walk. I did some, strengthening, and I feel really good. I'll probably be sore in the morning because I didn't stretch very well. Couldn't expect to get it in like that today, which is bad on my part. I need to make a better habit of stretching. Diet's still going pretty good. I did have a cookie yesterday. I ain't gonna lie. Today I didn't really have anything sweet. Well, no, yes I did earlier. I had like a few bites of my daughter's ice cream, but I ain't do too much. I'm trying to change my diet. And the crazy thing is, since I've been like really actively working on what I'm eating, I can't really tell much on the scale, but a lot of people are stopping me and saying, "Hey, look like you slimming down." Yesterday was a great day. I got the opportunity to, well, I got a last minute phone call and someone asked me to shoot a scene in a movie. My role was short lived. It was one scene and I died. But you know what? I think I died pretty good. The director was impressed. He like, "You're good." But I guess I am good at fighting and dying. Shit. I'll tell you, I was battling in that scene. I was like, you know what? I had to put myself in that character's shoes. Like, coming home and your spouse got another woman in the house, and you pissed. You trying to see what's going on. I had to like channel all that energy and I had to like let it out. And I had to make it believable. Guess that's why it's called acting. I take my hat off to actors and actresses because you got to be able to put yourself in a totally different energy, like whenever, like yesterday, I'm pretty, happy, bubbly. Yesterday was a great day. With the church, I was all happy and stuff. Got out of church, went to see my grandson, got to hang out with my grandson, and had my other daughter with me. I was just happy. And they was like, "You want to do this role real quick?" I was like, "Yeah." Cause I'm this woman who's being cheated on, and he got the woman up in the house. I had to get mad real quick. So I had to think about my past because, I mean, that's happened. Story time. So many, many, many years ago, ooh, many years ago, I was very young. Put it this way, I don't even think I had two kids yet. I don't even know. Maybe I did have two. I was that young. And I was dating this guy. Matter of fact, I did have two kids because it was after I broke up with the Pisces and I tried dating again. And I was dating this guy. And it was so funny because you would have never thought that he was in a relationship. like, he was over my house all the time. He was taking me out on dates and all this other stuff. And, you know, he wasn't really my type. He wasn't really my type because he was like, oh, he was very fair, very light skinned, very light. He wasn't mixed, but he was very light. And, I like my men, you know, chocolate. I always have. But he was very nice. We used to hang out and stuff like that. He was like awkward and nerdy like me. So we got along great. We would play the game together. go to basketball games, talk. He was just a cool dude. So finally, after months of talking and dating, we decided to do the do. So he invited me over his place. He had candles lit. He had the mood. You know what? To be as young as we were, he had the mood set. Like he lit candles all over his bed. He had rose petals. He had cooked me dinner. He was just he was so sweet, you know. He gave me a little massage and stuff. It was like, okay. He gave me a little massage and stuff. I said, okay, like, you know, I got all my clothes off and stuff like that. Like we was getting ready. Like he was kissing on me and stuff. I was like, ooh, I was hot and ready. Next thing you know, he stopped. I didn't hear nothing. I was in my moment. He was gonna go down on me. So I was just waiting for him to go down. I was like, oh, shoot, he about to go down. It's one of my favorite activities. I'm hyped, right? So he about to go down. He just stopped. And he was like, oh shit. He was like, get in the closet. I'm like, what? He was like, get in the closet. I'm like, no. Imagine I used to be like a buck 20. I used to be real thin. Man, this fool picked me up and tossed me in that closet and closed the door. So I'm sitting there quietly. Mind you, I'm naked. All my, I'm like, oh shoot. So next thing you know, I hear a woman's voice, and she was like, "Who's in here? Who is in here? Who is in here?" She is going off like, "Who is in here?" I'm like, oh shoot. So when I looked through the crack of the door, I could see her, and she was a little white chick. She was Caucasian. And she had this long, long red hair. She was a ginger. I'll never forget. She was very pale and she was a ginger. And she had a little baby with her. He even had a baby he ain't tell me about though. He told me he ain't had no kids. He had a baby with this girl. And she was like, she walked in the bedroom and she was like, who's here? Well, when I looked towards the bed, there was I had on these boots, these jeans, like all my clothes were like all of my clothes were like folded up. Um, they weren't folded up, but they were just like kind of at the foot of the bed. So then she saw my stuff and she's like, "Whose stuff is that?" And then they got to going at it. She was trying her best to get to that closet door. So what I did was I found some of his clothes. It was a pair of his basketball shorts. It was one of his t-shirts, and his clothes swallowed me. And I found like a pair of his socks. Imagine I'm ruffling around in the dark. If I think I put on some dirty clothes. It was kind of sweaty smelling. I ain't had no choice. Like, and she was like fighting him to get to the closet door, and he was like, "Man, you tripping? My brother had a girl in here earlier. They stepped out for a minute. They'll be back. Ain't nobody in here." She was trying her best to get to the closet door. I'm like, man, so I'm prepping myself to fight. Like, I'm like, I'm about to fight this girl. But what happened was somebody knocked on their door, and he was like, go see who at the door. That's probably them right there. And she was like, that better be them. So as soon as they walked out of the room, they walked into the door. I started plotting my escape. I'm like, how am I gonna get out of here? Imagine I'm praying and everything. Like, so I'm like, this girl could have a knife, a gun, anything. I'm in her house. Like, what am I gonna do? And after about 5 minutes, I realized it was super quiet. So I came out and noticed that I don't know how he got her out the house, but they left. I don't know how he pulled that off, but they were gone. So what I ended up doing was there was like a back door to the apartment. They had like a townhouse. It was a front door, and then if you go walk all the way back through the kitchen, it was a back door. So what I did was I picked my clothes up. I kept his clothes on, and went out the back door. Unfortunately, I didn't drive, and I lived close, but not close enough to walk. It would have been like maybe like a 30-minute walk, but like a 10-minute drive, like a 5-minute drive for the 30 minutes. It was some old weird stuff like that. So what I did was when I got out, I had got my cell phone out. Nope. Wait. What was my cell phone at? How did I call? Nope. We didn't have cell phones then. I didn't have a cell phone then. I didn't have one. Don't judge me, y'all, but I was like late on the cell phone bandwagon. I didn't have one. But luckily in like his shorts pocket there was like 50 cents. I had to walk to a payphone and I called my friend Fran and she came and got me because she was staying in my house. So when I shot the movie, I thought about that situation. I put myself in her shoes, trying to get to that closet. I was trying to get to the bathroom to see who was in the bathroom. She was trying to get to that closet to see who was in that closet. But this seed, I ended up dying. I never talked to him again after that, though. But I did. Nope, I take that back. I did talk to him again because I'm stupid. And I told him, like, I'll never come over your house again. And he's like, oh, we broke up. We not together. My dumb ass believed it. And he came over my house. And we did, like, finally do the do. Yo, that shit was whack. It was dumb whack. And it's no disrespect to him, but it was horrible. It was horrible. I was just like, this can't be it. So imagine I would have been over there. He would have did all that loving and whining and dining for some whack. It was it was horrible. It was so horrible. It was annoying. I mean, he had no rhythm. It was just terrible. It was just terrible. That made his tongue felt like sandpaper. It was ugh, golly. It was just anyhow. After he left my house, I ain't call him again. And I want y'all to understand that. Look, I'm not exactly the same person now as I was back then. But when I was younger, I didn't give a shit. So it was nothing for me to, bounce out on you and go talk to somebody else or y'all. Look, I've grown a lot. I've made a lot of bad choices in my life. That was one of them. But anyhow, a few weeks later, I did see. No, maybe a few months later, I did see with him with her at the mall, and they had two kids with them. So they were together. He was lying, and I never spoke to him again. Matter of fact, if I see him today, I probably wouldn't even recognize him or remember what he looked like. I just know he was very, 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 very light skinned. Very light skinned. But anyhow, I had to channel that energy, and I thought about that situation right there when I tried to get up in that bathroom to beat that hoe down, but I ended up dying. I never made it in the bathroom. But that was my Sunday. That was my Sunday, and then today I had a great workout. So I've been on this health kick. It's been really on and off, but this is the most consistent I've been as far as diet. And I think the reason why I've been so consistent is because I'm not as restricted. I do understand that not being as restricted can slow down my weight loss that I really want to obtain. But number one, it keeps me on track. And number two, I know that if I restrict myself too much, I'm gonna clown. So I just know me. So the best thing to do is just to kind of slowly restrict myself. So I have a regimen for breakfast and for lunch. I'm a little bit more, loose on my diet for dinner, but I still try to make healthy choices for dinner. So for breakfast, I usually have me like a yogurt and with a little bit of granola, not much, and I have my cup of coffee. In between, I drink water. And if I get hungry, I always have like some fresh fruit or like maybe like some fresh veggies. I make this dope dip, and it's very low calorie. And it's nothing but plain like that low calorie yogurt, that Greek yogurt, that low calorie plain yogurt. And then I'll take like a packet of ranch seasoning because that really ain't got no calories in it compared to like ranch dressing. So I take a packet of ranch seasoning. Sometimes I'll use Italian seasoning was good. Oh, one time I used that green onion dip seasoning in there, and I'll mix it together real good, and I'll dip my veggies in there. It tastes so good. If not, then sometimes I'll have like as a snack, I have like one of those little fruit cups. I mean, they do have a little sugar in them, but they're only about 100 calories, and they satisfy my sweet tooth. So that's better than like a 270 calorie candy bar. And then for lunch, I'll have a salad. I'm very particular about my salad because salads can be just as unhealthy depending on what you put in them. So I less is more for me with a salad. So I generally make my own salads because I know what I'm putting in them. But if I don't, I will eat a salad. I won't eat any ranch dressing. I won't eat any dressing. And usually, like if I have like a boiled egg or some like diced grape tomatoes in my salad, that kind of helps with the flavor. So I really don't need a dressing. If I do use a dressing, I always use like a light vinaigrette or like a light vinaigrette. And there's also a really good low calorie dressing called strawberry poppy seed or something like that. I would get that. My favorite thing is to dice up fresh fruit on my salads. Um, but most of the time, I try to keep it very simple. I don't like iceberg lettuce, so I'll usually use like maybe a spring mix or romaine, or I use like a spinach, and that's usually what I have for like lunch. And then I also try to have like water throughout the day. I don't drink much pop and juice throughout the day. I haven't really completely kicked my pop habit. So I've noticed that like maybe a sip here and there may help me get through. So, but that's good because for me, like a 20-ounce pop, I am like recording a podcast. Change your sheets. Wash them, baby. There's one in my closet in that clear thing. Turn on the light. In my closet. Yes, it's one of the things. I'm sorry, y'all. I'm mothering at the same time. I'm not re-recording this episode. I'm like 17 minutes in. It's over. Y'all gonna have to hear me talk to my daughter real quick. Look in that clear bag. But anyhow, I have a salad, and just that alone has helped me. I don't eat any more rice like that. I don't eat a whole bunch of grains or noodles or stuff like that. Every blue moon, I might have a little bit, but I don't. Usually, I'll just have like a lean meat if I do eat any meat at all, and then I'll have some like veggies to go with that. Also, like I tried something different because I wanted something a little bit crunchy. So I had took some fresh cauliflower and I seasoned it up. I made half of it I breaded, and then the other half I didn't bread it. I just fried it in the air fryer, and they were both surprisingly good. And I dipped it in a little barbecue sauce, and it kind of satisfied my craving. I wanted to fry that boy in fry it in some grease. I used to do that years ago in my group. We had went on a fast, and well, not my group, but the community that I'm a part of. We went on a fast, and Um, I fried some cauliflower. I took it, I cleaned it and breaded it. I think I had heated it up for a little bit to soften it a little bit, but then I breaded it, seasoned it up real good, breaded it, and fried it up, and it was really good. I even like made it shaped like chicken drumsticks, and it was really good. So I might make nah, it's too much grease. I'm trying to stay away from the grease too. The grease, the fats, the sweets, which is the most difficult thing for me. So I'm really transforming how I eat. Um, I had date number two planned from the first person I went on a date with. I had date number two planned, but he ended up canceling because he had to work extra, which is fine. Um, I think I supposed to. I think I might see him sometime this week, but like I told y'all before, I'm just kind of that's not my focus. so it doesn't bother me. And then my friend Big H, hadn't seen Big H in a while. He stopped by on Saturday and took me to lunch. So it was really good to kick it with him and laugh with him. He always makes me laugh. He's so funny. Well, he says I'm the funny one. He says I'm the comedian. I think he the comedian, but it's up for debate. But we sat down, we had lunch, we just caught up and talked and laughed because we hadn't really been talking or seeing each other, and we are good friends. So it was really good seeing Big H. And that was pretty much it. Lately, my thinking again has been very transformative. Um, for those that are listening, coming up, I just opened up my Etsy shop. So once I get all my little merchandise in there, I will post the link. My books will be posted in there too as well, so you can purchase from there. And I'll be adding stuff on as ideas come to me intuitively. I'm just kind of going with the flow and being as creative as possible, getting as many things done as possible. I think that right now is a great time to manifest anything you've been dreaming, especially with Saturn moving into Pisces for the next 3 years. Take advantage of it. The thing is, and look, I'm not familiar with planets and stuff like that, but I do know that Saturn is the planet of restrictions and stuff like that. And a lot of people don't like Saturn, but Saturn is also a great teacher. So Saturn is a planet of discipline. It teaches you how to discipline yourself. It gives you boundaries. And oftentimes, we need boundaries. You know what I mean? So Saturn is moving into Pisces. And Pisces is like the dreamy planet, the daydreaming type of energy, extremely intuitive, that type of energy. So to me, since Saturn is about hard work, if I was you, I would check where Pisces is placed in my chart. I would definitely do that. Because that area may be a focal area. So you can look at where Pisces is in your chart and where Pisces is right now. I mean, you can look at that and look at how it affects, you and your sign during this time. Also, ooh, I'm sorry, I'm getting sleepy. Also, with those two coming together, anything that you've been imagining yourself doing, that you've been dreaming about, that you've been wanting to do, you know what I mean? Now is the time, I would say, to do them. And don't forget, Saturn is the type of energy that rewards you for hard work. So I'm not saying that things are going to come to you easily, but now is the time to really work towards them. It's crazy how like we are just, and I know astrology is like important to be knowledgeable of, but like when you're spirit guided and you follow your spirit, you don't you don't really need to know. Like no, like look at your chart every day, read everything every day all day. Your spirit just kind of guides you to do what you need to do. So it's so crazy how I had already kind of stepped into this energy to work hard, get projects done, transform and manifest things. It had already come into me naturally before I even read that Pisces will be going Saturn will be going moving into Pisces tomorrow, which is March 7th. So definitely watch. There's plenty of YouTube videos out there. There are plenty of articles out about it. I read so many and I watched a few videos. I would say, read about it, see how it affects you and your chart and around your energy. Because this energy is gonna be here for 3 years. See what you could benefit from. And also Saturn is like the planet of lessons. See what you need to learn. Right now would be a great time to kind of tackle that, especially with it being in a mutable sign like Pisces. Mutable signs are very transform. They can adapt. They can adapt to transformation very easily. They could adapt to changes very easily, and that's much better than Pisces being in like Aquarius, which is a fixed sign. Where things are really rigid. Fixed. Signs don't really like to bend or anything like that. So I am going to go ahead and end it here because I am almost hitting my 30-minute mark. I want to take a moment to give my gratitude to everybody that listen in every time I put an episode out. I got people who respond to me or call me or ask me questions or hit me up on YouTube. Every time I put an episode on, it's pretty much the same people. And I just appreciate all of y'all support. I was talking to a friend the other day, shout out to Renee, and she said, I listened to a few episodes of your podcast. And she said, I am so thankful that you started this. And I was like, you like my podcast? And she was like, yeah. And I was like, it's a mess. I used to be all over the place because I'm real with y'all, right? Y'all my journal, right? And she said, well, Jazz, you made your mess your ministry and you're helping people by sharing your mess. And she said, your tests, all those tests that you went through in your life became your testimonies. So this platform here has not only been healing to others that I'm hearing, but it's also been healing to me. Y'all just don't know how. I mean, a lot of y'all do know because I'm pretty sure y'all got situations where there's nobody that you can really talk to, or there's no one that you can really, like, express yourself to. But I'm thankful to have this platform and I'm thankful for everyone that listens in. So, with that being said, don't forget to love on yourself 11 times in the morning, 11 times at night. You know what I mean? Hug yourself tight. Have an amazing day. Look at me. I'm falling asleep while talking to y'all. So I'm about to go to bed anyway. So good night, good night, and good night before I start talking off the wall and don't remember what I done said because I'm dozing off. Peace, everyone.